Terry Bear says Henning lost it. He is not wrong. We need to see on stage all the people who haven't spoken. Stop saying ethereal, Jan. And another guy says ethereal. Everyone stop saying ethereal. That's a new one. Well, the topic for tonight is, I don't know, YouTube, early days. Well, the whole idea was we have some really cool people here who did YouTube in the early stages, and we have some of the first guys who ever did gear stuff, guitar-related stuff on YouTube. So I think we should talk about that. Well, Phil, if you don't want to talk at all, you sit on your chair, go to sleep, I'll wake you up when it's your turn. Phil X doesn't think we should talk. Go in your corner, Phil. No, drink your thing. Oh, I got to organize something for you. A special drink. I got instructions, Phil. So, I want to invite up Louis the... He's busy right now. I'm trying to give him like a super cool introduction, but Phil McKnight is totally knowing his ear off. Louis. He's not even hearing me. Wait. I need like a drum roll. Could we get a drum roll? No. The Tone King. Been doing this for 800 years on YouTube. Little generator with, mice in his basement, getting the internet going. And so I'm looking at the man over there who was he before you? The man? Yeah? Maybe. Yeah? We'll figure it out. So we have the Gearmanndude, and not just his shoes. I actually, for this talk, only wanted his boots up here. But he's showing his face. What? I'm not allowed to move?
Stand right
for 2 minutes.
Oh my God, what in the world is going on?
For two minutes.
I got a pussy on my face and what the?
Not allowed to move for 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's just live on YouTube, it's okay.
Not allowed to move for 2 minutes. Hello, YouTube.
It looks good on you, Henning.
Let's see. Now you can be in the band. Wow. Wait, let's split it. There we go.
Good, actually.
Don't get any ideas.
Could anyone look more stupid than me right now? Nope. Anyone? By the way, $5 if anyone wants to wear the sweater. $5. Take. So, we got the Gearmanndude, we got the Tone King. I want to get Bryan Ewald up here. He hasn't been on YouTube in the early days, but he actually did research today, and he figured out where YouTube came from, so he can actually tell us. So who else was like an early guy?
I'll tell you the same thing Wikipedia can tell you. Yeah.
He's a Wikipedia for now. Who else was early? Come on, anyone? Glenn, how long have you been doing this? Actually, you know what? Glenn has never been up here, and people said they're gonna kill me if Glenn doesn't come up here. Glenn, this is how you hold a microphone. We got one more slot.
Okay, who left the snare on?
Yeah, some drummer.
Who have we not had up here? Well, you know what? Let's do some. Tyler, you're like the new generation. You're young, you're successful, you're pretty as fuck. You're everything we hate and want to be. So please come up here. No, I'm not talking about your lovely wife. It's the combination of the two that makes it work. But I think you should be up here when we talk about the early days of YouTube, because it kind of is. You're the new thing, and so much hipper than we are.
I did a quick check.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he'll use this thing. Where are the? We're so unprepared.
Test.
Oh, okay. Good.
All right, so we did a quick check here.
Check.
Anyone want to take a guess on Gearmanndude's first video without looking at your phone? It's funny.
2007.
Henning's giving away a guitar if you get the answer correctly. There you go.
07? Yeah?
No, are you asking when or what was the topic?
Okay, 2008.
Yeah, it
2008.
really wasn't the first. I did these interviews with almost everybody, and a large percentage of people have had their channel years longer than I have. So you can't give me that. You can't crown me the Prince of Death.
So the channels have been up longer, but what about guitar-related content?
So my first video was put out November 3rd, 2006. Wow. And it was a shootout video between a Marshall Reverb 12 and a Marshall Lead 12 back in November 3rd of 2006.
So the name, the Tone King, is absolutely correct. He is the king.
So has anyone put out a video before that? Because I will gladly hand over the title.
I don't think YouTube existed before that.
Anyone?
Brian.
Valentine's Day 2005. February 14th, 2005.
Really?
The first video was I'm at the zoo. It is. It's 19 seconds long. I looked it up today. And the founder of YouTube was searching. One of the three founders of YouTube was. Yes, it was. Yeah, he was searching for videos of the Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction. This is via Wikipedia, and couldn't find one, so he thought he would start a video sharing website. Would be a good idea.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So you were right behind him.
There you go.
2005, 2000. You were your first year.
Boobs being the great motivator.
Always. What do you have to say about that, Tyler?
In 2005, around February, the Patriots won the Super Bowl. And that is a long forgotten Super Bowl because of the Janet Jackson nip slip. And I just want to remind everybody about the greatest football team to ever take the gridiron, the New England Patriots.
Yes!
You're in Europe, you know that, right?
Yeah, nobody cares here.
Football.
It's hand egg here in Germany. Next question.
Do we have any questions from the live stream?
Wait, what was your first, the topic of your first demo?
I don't know, but I believe it was Tube Screamer. Was it Tube Screamer differences?
Let me
I
check.
think I had a Keeley and an Analog Man and like a Maxon and an Ibanez and
Yeah, his first video was Overdrive Pedal Shootout, part 1 of 2. And that was the title, so I'm not sure what was in there. Do you want me to watch it?
Please do not. But the hate started right away because it was, instantly somebody, the comments were, you can't do that. You have to have them all on separate circuits. You're running them through each other, and they're not true bypass. And blah. I was like, what have I gotten myself into?
Well, nice that you say that. You discovered hate immediately, Tyler said. I said questions, please. After that, we have the following comments. That Tyler guy is a dork. You are wrong, Steve. You are very, very wrong. We hung out with him all week, and he really is not. He pretends to be, but he really is not. One of the greatest guys ever. Seriously. Then the next comment is Steelers, Lions. I don't know what these words mean.
Definitely not lying.
Has anyone, here's actually a question from the people, has anyone ever built their own guitars?
When I was a kid, when I was a little kid, it didn't succeed, so I bought one instead.
I cut a piece of plywood out in the shape of a guitar with the intention of putting strings on it and other stuff, and then I realized there was actually more to it, and it didn't really work. But I did, because I was an Eddie Van Halen nut, I drilled a hole through where the tremolo should be, and I cut a piece of coat hanger and bent it around so I had a trem arm, and I duct taped a piece of a pen cap, because when I first started using it, it sliced my hand open from where I cut the coat hanger open. Thank you. So, and then I decided pretty quickly that
You had an arm tip.
I did. But I realized early on in life that I'm not a guitar builder. And that's why I'm here representing Paul Reed Smith Guitars as a player only. So if you ask me detailed questions about the construction of guitars, I'm going to have to pass it on to someone else.
Never, ever built a guitar.
Oh, I got my own. No, definitely not.
So, like you, someone's at my front door. Let me, sorry, excuse me. Like you, with my father, I don't remember how old I was, very young. We did the same thing with a plywood and cut out the whole shape of a guitar. And that was about it. We didn't even paint it or anything. And in terms of building, I built a pick guard out of a very thin piece of plywood. That's about the only thing I've ever built.
So I think this is actually a good question here because these people out there are starting to realize there's experience here. You know, we are all, except for one, a little bit on the older side. Not old, experienced, and we know about gear. So they want to know what has been the biggest guitar innovation in the past 3 years? Because they know we can look back and stuff. So, what do you think? Tyler doesn't really know because he only knows the last 3 years.
Fishman Fluence pickups, without a doubt.
I didn't hear the Fishman.
Fishman. Yeah, the Fishman pickups are outstanding. They're like, instead of a traditional winding, they are actually printed circuit boards that are stacked one on top of each other. And you get 2 different distinct sounds per pickup. You like do a pull tap, but instead of going to single coil, it actually changes the frequency of the pickup. They're freaking outstanding. I got them in a 7-string. I got them in a Strat. They're amazing, and they don't feed back. They're incredible.
I was going to say, all the USB devices now. I don't use them because I've gone past that age, but I think, the kids are going to embrace it and be able to do some pretty wicked things with it. So I can dig it.
I think guitar has been the same for a while for me, but I feel like there's been a leaps and bounds in cat sweaters in the past few years. I find they've come a long way from the cat sweaters from when I was a kid. They don't have quite the embroidery detail, and I mean that almost looks realistic.
Biggest guitar innovation has not been a product. It's been a platform, which is live streaming, because media has been passive, meaning you have to create your videos and then post them and hope people see them. But live streaming has invigorated the guitar community to see things in a raw perspective, and especially for gear, I think that's really fun to really feel like you're getting feedback directly because you can comment, and I think that's important for people who can't try out gear.
I learned something new today. I never had a tone print pedal, so I didn't know how it worked. And I was fascinated when I said, okay, I created a tone print. How do you get it on a pedal? And they said, well, you load it up here and you kind of put it into your pickup. Does everyone know this? I just learned this today.
It is beyond brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes.
You kind of put the noise in your pickup and it reconfigures the pedal. That was pretty fascinating. Again, not having ever owned a tone print pedal, I was pretty fascinated. So, greatest innovation? I don't know, but I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Tyler just said how amazing it is that with live streaming, we can interact with the fans and they can ask questions. I'm going to disprove that, how amazing that is. Robert Baker asks, Henning, when was the first time you put on an ugly sweater, and is your current one the ugliest? So how great is live streaming? How valuable is that? First time, I think I just thought it was a good sweater, and then people said, what are you wearing? And then I started buying more and more ugly ones deliberately. And yes, this is the best one I could find.
You've never seen the Cosby Show, apparently.
I look for these, but it's like 80s stuff. If we can get those vintage, you're all invited to troll stores and send me things you want me to wear. So let me see what else do we have. Robert Baker, excellent questions. You guys suck so much. I'm sorry. You guys talk while I find an actual question.
No pressure.
No pressure, right? Well, it is the last day. I think we all would like to thank the people that brought us here. Hans Peter, all the people that helped. I don't remember everyone's name, but Vladimir and Harry and Marco and Tortoise. Did anybody besides me bug the shit out of Tortoise? No, just me. That's why she was giving me that look every time. But she was a superstar. Uwe, Phil coming up and doing the jams. Because you got to have a singer. So it's great that we have a singer here that totally rocks his balls off too. So that's cool. But yeah, and of course, the perfect master here, Henning Polly, and Kiana, of course. Thank you. Took him a couple of years to put all this together. It didn't happen just in a month. So he deserves a lot of credit. I hope next year you hire a handler of sorts so that you can join the rest of us. And that's all I got to say about that.
I asked Tortoise for nail clippers.
I did too.
And she delivered.
She's told me she didn't have it.
So Tortoise is insane. Sadly, she's not here, but I will let her know that.
And then Henning had a nail file for me afterwards. When you're shooting in 4K, you don't want dirty fingernails.
Kelly, yeah. Kelly's also amazing. Everyone here is so helpful. Where did I... Now that's going on. Oh, here. That's actually a good question. What are your thoughts on playing live to synchronize tracks via in-ears? Like in a lot of shows, people now live seem to, help out the vocalist. It's okay. It's Britney Spears. She's got to dance around, help out the vocalist. But I actually heard from a reliable source that at festivals like Wacken, big metal bands, now in metal, they actually go up on stage and guitar, everything except for the drums is actually coming off tape, and they're really just pretending. We're talking about very popular bands. I don't want to say any names. I can tell you guys later. So I was asked from a company that makes one of these live players for these tracks to kind of review it and even talk to Glenn if he'd be interested in showing something like this. So what do you think about that?
I think the Hammer of Truth needs a workout. Seriously, what the fuck is that shit all about? Metal bands doing that, or pretend metal bands? What the fuck? What a ripoff. They're going to pull that at Wacken, and I suggest don't buy any Wacken tickets. They shouldn't allow that at all. Yeah, wow. You're going to play metal, you fucking play metal, you don't pretend. Fuck that. Fuck those bands. Give the kids their money's worth. Fucking pussies.
So Henning, why would they do that? For what reason?
So they can jump around, I guess, or just, I don't know. I've always imagined it was a tempo issue, and my response was going to be, I play with a fellow that does some stuff to a click because he's got stuff that he's not playing on his drums that are sequenced. I've never, ever had it put in my monitors. Put the kick drum in my monitor. That's what I'm playing to. That's all I need. As long as he's playing okay to the track or to his sequence, I'm playing with him. I'm not playing with the ears, Put the kick in the monitor, and I'll play to that and hope that he's in with whatever's going out to the rest.
I got a cool piece of wisdom from Pete when I was interviewing Pete Thorne, and he said, this is a guy who's played to bigger audiences than that festival that you mentioned, and he said, people aren't there to watch you fail. They're there to party. So I feel like bands, if they're going to play to tracks, that means they're afraid to sound bad, when metal especially is about aggression and attitude and authenticity. So you shouldn't be afraid to sound, bad, because if you're doing it right, you're going to sound good because you're passionate about what you're doing, and nobody's there to be picking apart your performance. They're there to enjoy you because they paid to be there.
It's a good point, but maybe it's because Pete or Phil actually played on the record, and those cats didn't.
Speaking as both somebody on both sides that, you know, from a player or an audience member, I wouldn't really enjoy playing a show where I'm just miming at all. Like that to me doesn't sound, that's not why I got into it. But as somebody watching the show, I would take attitude and energy over perfection any day. I would take...
Absolutely.
So I would be, as a fan, really disappointed to go see any band that I loved to just... If I wanted to hear that, I'd just listen to the record. You know, I'd much rather hear the moment and humanism. And I think that's why the electric guitar and the drums, that's why people still play that stuff. Of course they can be programmed, but there will always be people who play musical instruments because the human element, that's never going to go away. It's going to have ebb and flow where things come in to try to replace it or make it easy to replace it, auto-tune and all that stuff. It will never, like what Phil does when he walks up on the microphone, if you heard like auto-tuning that, would have, there's no purpose to it. It's like his energy is, I mean, I could sit and listen to it all day, but
Transcends perfection.
yeah, I mean, most of my favorite records are full of flaws, but I couldn't even tell you what they are. I don't even care. Like they're
Go and auto-tune Ozzy.
yeah,
Why?
exactly. Why?
We don't need
Would you
that.
quantize John Bonham's drum tracks? Of course not.
So, there's two ways. I'm a producer, so I got a little bit of a different stance on that. There's two ways to see the whole playing through two tracks. If they go up on stage and actually have tracks of the instruments that are on stage, that's bullshit. But if I'm producing something, and in the studio we have this third guitar part that's kind of really cool, but they can't do it live because they only have two, or there's a keyboard part and they don't have a keyboard player, or a vocal harmony that they can't pull off. Getting that from tape, I think, is just to deliver the song the way it sounds nicer. That's cool. But being on stage and having the actual part that could be played coming from tape, that's a total no-go in any style, really, I think. So
I'll give you that.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. So, he got that.
I got it.
Okay.
Although if there was that third guitar part that they couldn't pull off, TC Electronic makes this really sick harmonizer that's coming out soon. And I played it, and I made a tone print, and it's called Oh Yeah. So check that out. The reason it's called Oh Yeah while we wait for another question is because when you slide up from the 10th fret to the 12th fret on the thick E string, it almost sounds like a human going, oh yeah.
I did a reverb one. It's called Reverb Sucks, and they really liked that a lot. And yeah, look for it this Christmas.
Is Aldo Reddy still here? No? They left? Then I cannot get him up on stage. So that solves that. And back to you. I like this. I like this. We should do this like regularly.
You should fly with me. I'd rather sit next to you, I think. Oh, yeah. I don't have a lot to say. I say let's rock. Let's get people going. Unless we're waiting for a question.
After 5 days of GuitCon...
Oh, this is a good one.
Stand by.
I gotta go on.
Thank you for
How
saving
many,
that.
this is going to be an embarrassing one for some of us. How many guitars do you each own? I'm going to sip that one out.
Less than Henning. More than my kids. I really don't know. Maybe 20-ish. Less than 30.
Almost enough.
Not enough.
I think 17.
Too many.
That's the thing. The old joke is, you know, if I die, tell the wife, if I die before you, or actually, hang on, scratch that. It goes something like that, but it's different. How many guitars do you need? Honey, when I die, you go in the studio, count all the guitars. I needed one more.
I think it's absolutely fascinating that no one actually gave a number because I don't think.
I gave it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Hi, I'm no one.
Okay.
Fuck you, Henning.
I heard 17.
Okay, he had, but most of you, the question is, do you really know?
The important people.
That's the thing, because I don't know. I don't actually have I don't count because I don't want to know. I'm in denial.
I have one guitar and about 19 backups. Is that better?
Yeah,
That's pretty true.
that's good. You need that, yeah.
This is someone who understands what happened here this week. Thank you, Terry Bear. Terry Bear. I wish they had real names. How tired is everyone there in the chairs from 1, not much, to 10, very tired? 1,000 over here.
7.
I'm a 5. I feel okay. I'm not too bad.
I feel like I have a long night ahead of me, so I'm gonna have to say 1 out of 10.
We were your age, we were killing whores. Staying up for a month.
Guess you got told.
Not on the microphone.
8.
8.
8. I'm pretty beat. It's been a really intense week. I think I shot like 11, 12 videos this week. It's been pretty intense.
Hello, Terry Bear. Thank you for joining us. You know, the week, it was a long week, but I'm good to go. I'm not that tired, so I don't know. I'll say a 2 or a 3 maybe at most.
I've never met the Tone King, but he's chill all the time. And I dig that a lot. I dig the whole vibe, man.
Yeah. Well,
A lot.
My feelings are very mutual, just kind of being next to the Gearmanndude.
One of the nicest places
Let's switch.
to be this week.
Switch with me. I'm going to sit next to the Gearmanndude.
One of the nicest
Get in
places to
here.
be this week was sandwiched between the Tone King and Pixie Licks. Because that was just like, that was a good sandwich. I wanted to be the bologna right there. No, it was awesome. So, if you could create a perfect amp, what would you do?
Instead of a perfect amp, can I create a perfect sound man for every club that just lets you play a 100-watt Marshall and is like, sounds great? No. See, where I live, we have a saying when you really get into it with the sound man, and I respect the sound man back there, so I feel for you. I understand you got to do it for everybody, not the guitar player. How do I say this nicely? When they tell you to, you're in a decent-sized hall, medium-sized hall, and it's like, cut the guitar down or you're not going to be in the mains. It's like, just turn the drums and the vocals up, right? It's sound reinforcement. You're here as reinforcement. If this is the loudest thing on stage, which it's not, we all know the bass rig is the loudest thing on stage always, sonically. It's just louder. But it's sound reinforcement. Just turn up the other shit. If I'm not in the mains, then the other stuff's too quiet. This is a big room. Let's do it. Right? Did I answer the question?
Yes. When you asked right, I was like, no. Because I stand behind these boards, I'm like, I don't like you anymore. We're going to have issues once you get up here, except for that you're going to be brilliant, so forget what I said. Anyone else? Perfect amp?
I think I'm all about the tactile part of the amp. I like it loud. You mentioned the 100-watt Marshall. I gave the analogy the other day of a roller coaster simulation or the real thing. I like to feel it. I like to feel how an amp sounds when it's cranked, and it's therapy for me. If I do that for 15 minutes a day and could turn something up real loud and make shit in my house shake, it kind of brings me happiness. So perfect amp is, I think bigger may not always be better, but it certainly makes me happy.
And of course, that's what she said.
That's what she said.
You can go. I don't have. The perfect amp or the perfect anything doesn't exist. But
Thank you, Aristotle. Thank you.
if I'm pursuing the perfect amp, I'm going to have to say I don't know how to build it, and I think it's important to find somebody who's smarter than you and surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, like I've done right now.
Talking about you guys.
That was very deep.
Okay, for me, I'm looking for different things than you guys because I'm a studio guy, not necessarily a guitar player. So for me, the perfect amp is got to be the Rev Generator 120. You know, after recording albums for 20 years, there's an amp I can mic up and it's going to sound great. And I don't have to shovel out the bottom end in post, you know, because it's farting around too much. It's got a great low end and it's tight and it's super versatile and it does what I want it to do. And everybody plugs in, hears it mic'd up and goes, oh, fuck, that's killer.
So the question was, what would you do if you could design the perfect amp?
It's already built.
That's the thing. You wouldn't change anything on it?
No, it's fucking great.
Yep.
Does everything I need it to.
Yeah. Careful, he works for PRS, they make amps. Disclaimer.
There's dozens and dozens of perfect amps already in existence. And guitars. It depends on what you want and what you play. I mean, if you play metal, if you play Americana and rock, there's something out there that does what it does brilliantly and musically. So it's just finding what works for you. And if it's a classic design, somebody's remade it and tweaked it, and you know, that's the reason we're all here. It's a never-ending search for what makes you want to pick up your guitar and play. And it doesn't mean that it hasn't been invented. It's just get out there and try stuff and figure out what works. Because what I love might be different than what you love and what you love. And there may not be one thing that you love. You may have 5 amps that all do different things. That's the beauty of it, you know. I'm not looking for one perfect thing. Anything that I plug into that inspires me to play my guitar, that's great. That's good enough for that moment, and you know.
Perfect answer. I actually think that for me, the only measure of a good piece of gear is not price or anything. It is, does it make me play things I wouldn't have played without it? If it inspires me to do new stuff, it's brilliant.
And I don't mean this in an insulting way to anybody who feels like this is what they've been doing, but if your goal is constantly searching for that perfect piece of gear that's like the one and only end all be all holy grail, maybe what you're searching for is the wrong thing. Maybe you need to look at yourself, like practice play your guitar. Yeah. Like there's great stuff out there, and there's really cool, and sometimes it's just an interface. I mean, there's how many delay pedals are there? How many they're all great. There's great stuff. Find one that does what you need it to do and makes you want to pick up your guitar and play, and just play your guitar. Play it as much as you can, and that's all you need to worry about doing. And don't blame the guitar or the amp if you're not happy. Just
coming back to the I'm glad
we agree.
Coming back to the YouTuber discussion that
feelings.
we started with, this is a brilliant question. Where do you see guitar YouTubers in 10 years? And I'm going to start with this. Right fucking here at GuitCon 10. That's where I see guitar YouTubers in 10 years. Just even more of us. And hopefully, and the trend is going there, some more ladies, so we don't have this thing going on, you know? So that's why I see that going.
I see it staying the same, honestly. I'm happy with it. I think it rocks. There's all kinds of young guys out there that are just killing it, and gals. I mean, it's good. Happy with it.
Yeah, I have to agree. I wouldn't have imagined from my first video I would have been here, and here I am surrounded by people that do what we all do. And I think we'll all grow professionally in some capacity. I mean, Phil X is a great example, is playing with Bon Jovi, which is astounding. You know, Robert Baker's traveling the world as a guitar, which is supporting his family and feeding his kids. I think we'll all grow professionally, but at the end of the day, where will we be in 10 years? Hopefully we'll be right back here talking about what we did for the past 10 years like we are right now.
Sausage con.
Phil X just said sausage con. So because he's one of the most brilliant support men ever, Michiel gets his question. So not the shower question, no, not for the millionth time. How important is the look of a guitar for you guys?
Extremely. Are you kidding me? That's why you strap it on. I mean, first time I saw a Blackguard telly, that was like, that's me. That's what I look like. It belongs to me. It's not a sexy thing, but neither am I, right? No, that's it. I mean, it's absolutely if I see a telly that's some crazy color, I just can't stop thinking about it. I find a way to buy it. How it looks is obviously how it sounds is important too, but looks and feel have an awful lot to do with it. It is art. It is, an extension of your personality, hopefully. And that's why I've started getting a lot of sparkle guitars lately.
I minus the sparkle, I agree very much that you have to, I think looks matter. You have to enjoy it. You have to want to hold it. So I think it matters a lot. Probably more so than, of course, a guitar has to play good, but, if you love that guitar, you'll probably be more forgiving. You could have...
They can play good.
That's right. You could... If you had an ugly guitar, but it plays wonderful, chances are you're going to be like, maybe I'm going to pass on that one. But if you had a guitar that you absolutely loved, that was played okay, you'd probably be like, we'll make it work. We'll figure it out. 100%. So I think the looks matter.
Yes. Tyler is in deep thought.
Telecaster, great sounding guitar. Not an attractive looking guitar to me.
Fight.
Because I want more from my guitar in the visual department.
You can get a sparkle one. You can have a sparkle Telecaster.
And I'm not knocking the tone.
Or a white one.
You can put sparkle on it. It still looks like it came off a tractor.
Yeah, maybe that's the deal. I was raised on a Christmas tree farm. That could be why I like the simplicity of the tool of that. It's possible.
I like
True story.
I like very intricate detail in my finishes, personally, and body shape, neck shape, headstock shape. And there's really only one brand that meets my criteria in that department, and it's PRS. So that is why
He's such a fanboy, but
the first guitar that I bought where I was completely comfortable on the guitar, which I told this to my friend Phil back there, and I said, guitar is about what makes you comfortable. When you're playing a guitar, you want to be comfortable, and different guitars do different things for different people. Love at first sight is a real thing, and when I saw that Emerald SC 245 10 top hanging, I pulled the trigger on my my entire summer earning while I was working in college. That's something right there. I'm done.
You sure?
Hold on. Now I'm done.
Okay. All right. Yeah, looks great. Yeah. I mean, I own a lot of guitars. Like I said, I own 17. None of them are tellies because I wasn't raised on a farm.
Yet.
Christmas tree farm. Okay. All right. I'll leave it to PRS guy here.
So I'm not going to put any personal preference in here, but I'm going to just say, you walk into a store, you walk into this place, there's a million guitars on a wall. You have no idea what they sound like. You pick it up based on what you think it looks like. You don't know yet, so you go, that looks awesome. I'm going to pick it up. It matters to everybody. If you say it doesn't, then you're lying. Because why would you pick up that one over that one over that one? Because that's the one that drew you to it based on the way it looks. And then you go from there. But that's the first thing that anybody does.
Very good point.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to one of those questions that, gets asked in any kind of setting, and I'm going to answer and then go and give over to Robert Baker because we need to get more people up here that haven't been up here. So Robert's going to moderate, yes. And I'm going to write ethereal to you. Yeah, let's vote some people off. So here's a question, and let's answer that and then switch some people out. One band you would go see live, past or present, and I'm going to start. It's obviously Hanson. Obviously, I would die to see them, and I'm not kidding. So Robert, come up here. And I leave this with
Badlands for me. I'm still burning those first 2 records all the time. Love it.
Love Badlands. Probably Kiss Alive, Madison Square Garden. Think I would think that one for me.
Try and get on the cover.
Yeah. But a little High Wire. That's some fucking riffage right there.
I don't know what band. Robert Baker, everybody. Robert Baker. I don't know what band he would be playing in, but I would try and see Django Reinhardt.
Nice. The one band I never got to see that I was a huge fan of was Caius. Never got a chance to see those guys, and they broke up. They were on tour, and then they broke up before they came to my neck of town, and I've always regretted never being able to see them. They were just a huge influence, and it kind of sucks.
One of my favorite bands I've ever seen live is King's X. I would love to go see them again. They're amazing. One person I never got to see that I would love to see was, I'd love to see Jeff Buckley live. That would have been great. But King's X is, if you haven't seen them live and they're touring again, you got to go see them. They're ridiculous.
I'm going to swap people out. Yeah. There's no volume. Seat number 1. Anyway, let's go. So,
David Wallaby.
His face has been plastered on YouTube enough. Volunteers?
I'm staying.
I think we got to get Pixie Licks up here.
Yeah, get Pixie up here.
Thank you to you two, by the way. I need to say this. Kiana read comments from yesterday for me. Apparently, we should have been actors because the comments on yesterday's live stream are that we played it down, but the fight was real. People are buying it, and they're saying, how could you do this? And what kind of event is Framus and Warwick investing in, inviting these people? There is a lot of hate for us. And Colin, what do you say to that?
Fuck you.
I love this guy. I'm going to go to Scotland, run around with him. It's going to be fighting across Scotland.
Yeah, I want to go to a cool place in Scotland and we just have arguments in public.
What did he say?
I said arguments in public.
Miscalculation.
Woo!
First question. Someone asked what was the most famous guitar we've ever played, but what about if you haven't played like a famous guitar, what is one you would love to play? Mine would be anything EVH has ever touched in his life.
I think there's a question on the floor. No, that's you. Go right down the line, bro.
Yeah, the first thing that springs to my mind is the Jimmy Page double neck. I think that's pretty cool. I'd like to get a shot at that.
You almost stole my answer. I'm going with the early Jimmy Page Telly that he used on so many records. That guitar is legend.
I want to play the guitar after Hendrix lit it on fire. I want to play that one. See if I can make any noise out of it.
I think Frank's up about that, actually. I think Dweezil has it. Yeah, you might be right. Yep. KK Downing's 1957 Flying V that he used on the Vengeance tour. That is a killer guitar.
Different than a Telly. Flying V and a Telly are both utility objects.
Maybe if you come, yeah, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to get in trouble.
I'm not going to be original. I was going to pick Tyler's answer. That's the first one that came to mind.
It's Pedal Jesus.
I showed hitting something, and I actually promised not to show it to anybody, but I did anyway. So this is the famous guitar I played.
Oh. Yeah.
Nice.
Someone tell the
Holy
people
shit.
what you're looking at.
Looking at Brian May's guitar. Red Special.
Yeah, anyways, I answered already, right?
Second.
Tyler's guitar, too. That's the first one that came to mind, the one that Dweezil has.
Second question. This one wasn't on here because I'm having a hard time finding questions, but Pixie Licks writes in, who's the coolest dude at GuitCon? But what was your favorite part of GuitCon? For me it was getting to actually, I've watched all your guys' channels for a long time now, and getting to actually meet people in person, that was really exciting.
Yeah, I would like to say the same as you, but because meeting everyone has been so cool. But to give a slightly different answer, when we were down doing the Marshall Plexi on 10, and everyone just got their 30 seconds with that, and everyone was so excited and so buzzed to see what people were going to play, that was really cool.
Because one of the questions asked if we protect our hearing, and I was going to say, not after yesterday.
Yeah, I have to agree that Plexi, and thank the great Pete Thorne for coming up with that idea. We went down and rocked out that 100 watt. It was 100 watt instead of the 50, right? It was 100 watt, and I did not use earplugs. And it's an experience, one you shall not soon forget.
Yeah, so tune into Pete Thorne's channel for that Plexi thing that you guys are talking about, because I think we all did it. My favorite part of GuitCon was an intangible truth that this is validation for all that we do as musicians on the internet. And I think that the amount of the response that we got was really neat. And none of us have even had a chance to really edit our videos, and I think all of us running around, this is still we're still kind of in it. This is the tail end of the fifth day, the final day, and I don't think a lot of us have had the chance to really breathe and understand what has happened here today, and I think that is going to be something that we look back on and be like, we all got to do that, and this is going to be a moment that we all get to remember and be like, we were there for that first thing. And when all these videos go up and we watch them all, we'll look back on them fondly and reminisce of something that was and will continue to be.
Yeah, okay, I'm supposed to follow that up. Okay, yeah, I got to go with the Pete Thorne thing. I think that's the first thing we all did as a group, and I think that was kind of like, everyone was kind of cool and hanging out in a little bit, but we what's the problem? Not me. No, okay, the important people did it anyway. Seriously, no, that was great. Everybody kind of came together, and that's, I think, when everybody really started, just kind of working together as a more collective unit, because we were kind of all doing our little cliques and kind of thing. And yeah, that was the first thing we all did together, and that was really awesome. And I was really grateful to be part of that. And just being here and hanging out and just chilling out and talking to people and stuff, meeting old friends and making new ones, like this guy.
Hi.
David Walleman, everybody.
I think for... I think for me, all the video stuff, the work stuff was awesome. But what I will probably remember is the little stories, like you watch a guy on YouTube, you think you know them, but you don't really know them. And then when you discover what they're about, like their life, like they talk about their family, like they're real guys. And it's even better than you think, oftentimes, not always. But yeah, just meeting the people behind the channel was really cool. Like, just discovering what they're about outside of YouTube. That was really cool for me.
I'd just like to add one more thing. The factory tour was amazing. That factory tour really opened my eyes.
This place is pretty sweet.
It really is. The meticulous attention to detail was way beyond what I expected. I was like, no stone unturned, really.
They use their wood shavings to power things.
Yeah.
More on that on Pixie's channel.
I'm assuming this is Henning asks, how hot is that sweater, Robert? And the answer is between 1 to 2 million degrees.
Celsius.
Celsius.
Kelvin.
Someone asked how many pedals are on our pedal board, but I thought, how many pedals, we'll say if you're doing a live show, how many pedals would you like to have? For me, I would just have a delay and plug straight into the amp.
Which one would it be?
It would be an ethereal because it's actually it's a delay and reverb by Wampler pedals that Henning doesn't have.
I think right now on my main pedal board I've got 8 pedals. I think. But 8. 8.
8.
All right. Brace for impact. I'm not a huge pedal guy. But I tell you, the pedal I tried out here that I thought was amazing was the Flashback by TC Electronics, and we did a tone print on it. And I was really blown away by the number of parameters. I mean, you look at it and you see 4 knobs, but when he calls up like 5 pages of 27 parameters each page, you're like, all right, this thing's deep. Goes way beyond what I thought.
What's the question? How many pedals do we have on our live board?
Yeah, if you were going to play live, how many would you have?
46. No. I would have, I'll just say the effects that I would want: distortion and delay, and a wah pedal to cover my mistakes.
Gotta go with the wah pedal there. I'm not really a pedal guy. I mean, like I've got about 12 different overdrive pedals for the studio, of course, but and maybe a wah. That's it. Maybe a gate if I were playing live, and a delay. That's it. Morley wah, in case you were asking, and for an overdrive would be the Eris Effects Savage.
Yeah, so I don't play live, but if I did, I would probably need 4 pedals. I'd probably need a compressor, an overdrive, a reverb, and a delay. I think those are the main ones for me. Pretty simple.
Next question. Man, it's hard looking through all this stuff. I think you know what? New respect for Henning sitting here in his hot sweater. I think this is a good one. It says, what is the most important thing we learned from GuitCon?
That Henning's the man.
Yes. Henning's the man.
This guy can pull off the impossible.
You didn't know that before? What's wrong with you?
No, go ahead.
I watched your show.
To me, like the most important thing that I learned is just how powerful the music and guitar community is on YouTube. I mean, there's never been an event like this that is directed for us. Sausage Con, hosted by Phil X.
Yeah, one important thing I've learned is that I can say pretty much whatever I want and people will believe me. So
They won't understand you.
they won't understand me. So I need to work on those 2 things. No, I think
How
what
do you
I've
pronounce the number 8 too?
Yeah, okay. But I think to be serious, the thing that I've learned the most is how just wonderful everyone is, and how supportive, and how much we're all going to help each other through everything else that's going to go on. I think just the collective information from everybody on how they're doing their thing and being successful. Those are really important things that I've got to take away from this.
I think it was just sort of to see so many different people from so many different backgrounds and so many different styles come together, and yet it worked, and you were able to jam with a bunch of different people. And learn new things. I just was amazed at the camaraderie. I mean, it really was, a sausage fest. No, it was a love fest because we were all in love. But the the reality is that it really was a great time, and I think everyone was really supportive of each other. And you got to do videos with people you'd never met before. Looking your way, Tyler. And it was awesome. I had a great time. Had a blast. Didn't know what to expect, and it turned out awesome. And that was, I think, the best part of it.
Can copy and paste my other comment, similar question we had earlier about what this means for the guitar community, but also I'll say I think the thing that, what was the question, that what we learned?
What was it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, do any of us remember? All I'll say is this has been awesome. We all got to meet each other. I feel like there's a wall that has been smashed down, and we will continue to brutalize our way through further walls that may come through our path.
Okay, I just completely drifted off listening to Tyler. What was that again? Sorry.
Something about
Name.
What did you learn at GuitCon?
What did you learn?
What have you learned?
No.
Only the last answer.
Oh, okay. What did I learn? I don't know. Shit. A whole ton of stuff. Honestly, I've learned a lot of business tips from Phil McKnight sitting at breakfast with him. So thank you, Phil. That was quite the education. I don't know, learned everybody, was really freaking cool, really easy to work with. I didn't get to do a video with you, though. Shit, we'll have to do that next year, man.
We didn't, yeah.
I regret that. I didn't get it.
We're doing
Yeah, I suppose. No, I mean like an actual demo video.
We're literally doing it.
But yeah, it was wicked. I'm just, like I said, I learned that a lot of people are in the same business, same boat as me, You're doing YouTube as hard as you can, and you've still got day jobs and still managed to do it. So, keep at it, guys.
I was hoping to find something intelligent to say. I was waiting. And the first thing that came to mind sucks, but question was asked. I think I learned how introverted and shy I am. So I need to work on that. There it is.
Well, I promised you when we talked that I would push you on everyone, and I didn't do that because everyone needed stuff, so that's on me. Next time, I won't let you.
I still got 11 videos. That's not bad, right?
I'll promise you, next time I won't let you. Well, I'm just going to let you sit there and finish this up. And cook, yeah. Newfound respect, Robert. What these guys just said would have been my perfect vision for this event, that this happens. And apparently it did. Who knew? Musicians are complicated people. We are opinionated. We don't show up on time. We are not the easiest people to get along with. And to put that many of us, and then also people that are in front of cameras and little divas, and come on, putting that many people in this situation for a whole week, that spells out disaster. And just the fact that we became friends, and not a single one of these guys is anyone I wouldn't want to gladly invite to my home for a week to do stuff with. Videos, to film videos with. Whoa, that went the wrong way. No, that is absolutely amazing, and sometimes I have to pinch myself, or literally I got a little tear in my eye, and I'm like, is this really happening? Are these guys here, and they actually are getting along, and are we growing as a community, which I wanted, which all the trade shows didn't allow for, and is this actually working out the way I wanted it? I think it is, and thank you guys for, not a single one of you is a dick. Who would have thought? I mean, even if we pretended, but still, you're not. So, this could have never ever happened if we didn't have the guy who brought us here to find out that none of us is a dick. So I want to bring the guy up one more time, wherever he is. I called him in. He went back out. Guess he's the boss. He can do whatever he wants. I mean, leave me hanging here. It's okay. Let's talk about flowers. I like petunias. Petunias are good. Anyone? No? Hans-Peter? Hans-Peter? Anyone? There he is. I told you to stay. Hans-Peter Wilfer, who made this thing happen. Phil McKnight talked to him, and apparently he did it just to shut me up because I bugged the living crap out of him for 2.5 years, and he's like, what? That's my interpretation of it. No, apparently I was very persistent, right?
That's true.
Are you glad you listened to me?
A little bit.
A little bit. So I'm sad that Ove can't be here. He's not dead. He just had to. He had a gig. So Ove is also absolutely instrumental in making this happen. I was responsible for getting everyone together and making the technology happen. There's so much behind the scenes, from the food, the transfers, the company. There's so much that Ove did, right?
Well, just I tried to stay a little bit away the entire week, and just that you understand it, it was for me important that it is not a famous or not a work show. It should be a socializing come together from the YouTubers and from the exhibitors or from the companies who were by us. And personally, I'm very happy tonight, really happy, because I got only from the few people where I was talking and from the feedback what I was hearing behind, only positive comments. And for that, I like to say thanks to Henning.
Welcome.
That you and you all know after this week a little bit more Henning, and he can be such a pain in the ass, such a pain in the ass. But well, his passion, or that he was so resistant to call again and to say we have to do it, and well, after I gave up and says yes, we do it this year. And Henning, it was a fantastic idea, and I hope you go all home and you had a wonderful week, and you found new friends, and I think the atmosphere is not a show. It is something completely different, because we all know shows, and if we succeed that, I hope I see many faces next year again. We will not grow this show endless. It will be limited, because if it gets too big, we don't like make a financial event out of it. It should be a social come together, that everybody can communicate between each other, and that you can exchange ideas or whatever, and that everybody feels well staying by us a week. And if we succeed that, thanks for being with us. Thank you. Have a safe trip home.
So I haven't talked to Hans-Peter about this, but an idea has been growing. Again, at NAMM, we always run into each other. But how about all of us GuitCon reunion at the Warwick booth at NAMM for like at least one day, and they always have this amazing setup where all these artists give interviews. Not interviews, autographs. Let's do a meet and greet with all of us at the Warwick booth for at least like an hour. Is that cool? Would you guys be into that? People show up and like, I don't know, hang out with us. Is that a cool thing to do?
I get red.
No, I think GuitCon reunion at NAMM.
It shall be done.
It shall be done. Are you guys all going to be there? Yeah. Cool. Okay. So now get off my stage. We're going to bring up the guys from TC Electronic. We're going to bring up Mary Spender. We're going to bring up Gearmanndude. Then we're going to bring up Phil X. What? Well, we tried that yesterday. Well, we'll do this again, of course. Could we bring everyone up here? Bo, can you leave back there? Bo can leave. Bo, get your ass down here. So we need Bo, we need Marco.
Where's Marco?
Where's Marco?
Where's
we need
Marco and his
Vlad, we need
beautiful
Harry, we need
513?
Michiel. We need Jennifer, and we need Kiana back. Come on, Kiana, go on one angle. Come up here, guys. There is no way, I don't see the door opening, Kiana.
Here
Open
we
the
go,
door.
baby.
I don't see it opening. Come out here, yeah, come on. There is no way in hell this would have ever gone down with these guys. And they're coming back next year, right? No, he's the Dutch guy. Thank you a million times. There's insane people. Thank you.
They are amazing people. Clap at them. Clap at them.
We're going to expand the team next year for things to go even more smoothly, but these guys will be in charge of the new guys. So now we'll go and make some music. Cool stuff's coming. I heard that Leo is going to do a song. We all want to see that. And we all want to see Gearmanndude and the TC guys and Mary again, of course, because how brilliant is she? So let's have some of the fun, as we say in the German.
Henning, can I interrupt 2 seconds?
Here we go, baby.
Glenn, you know I'm a bass player. From zero to useless cunt. How useless was I?
You got better as the show went on.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thanks, everyone.
Henning, why is that shower locked?
No one gets it, but it is funny. We will make a video about that. Okay, get off my stage.
Bye-bye.
Robert, I would like for you to wear that sweater for the rest of the evening, please.
Hello, I'm a handsome prince and I live in a fairy tale land. I know really lots of things, let me show to you, my friend. Hello, I'm a crazy spoon and I live in a cup of tea. And my only friend is the moon, every night she's there for me.